When you hear about Japan, you hear about how like modern the technology is, which is true in some cases. But then,
Yeah, and the fact that people wear masks, even though they don't have to, like driving alone in the car, still wearing a mask.
That was a bit of a shock being on the train and being the only one who was kind of a foreign person, and people look at you a lot, look at you for being different. And
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Takashi from Japan. So today I'm going to interview tourists who came to Japan for the first time. What Japan gave you culture shock? Okay, let's find out today. On my channel, I interview Japanese people and foreigners in Japan. So it's the best channel for anyone who wants to come to Japan without traveling or living. You can also learn Japanese here. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. And on my Instagram, I show my daily life in Tokyo, share information about Japan. I'm also started uploading short version on my interviews on Instagram. So if you haven't followed yet, please follow it too. Okay, let's get started. Thank you for your time. Where from?
from London.
London.
From London as
Oh,
well.
you guys are sibling, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we are.
Also, you visiting her,
Yes.
who lives in Japan.
Yes,
Yeah,
I live
okay.
in Tokyo. I've been living for 7 months.
You know, that kind of culture shock. And then, yeah, you can mention as well. Like, yeah, is there anything?
When you hear about Japan, you hear about how like advanced and like modern the technology is, which is true in some cases. But then you still have a lot of like old systems, especially like with the when you buy tickets and stuff. And look, there's a lot of old machinery that's still being used, which is quite cool. And it's kind of mixed in with the new. And there's not a lot of contactless either, which I was quite surprised about. But it's quite cool how it's all mixed, but it still works in a sense. So you have like the old and the new mixed together.
I mean, cash only restaurant, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think like the main thing I was like quite had a culture shock about. One of the main culture shocks is because obviously London's so diverse. It was just like different to come to somewhere where like everyone is mainly Japanese. There aren't really a mixture of people. But then I kind of got used to that. But it was very different from London, and it took a while to get used to the idea that like you don't meet people from different parts of the world.
Right,
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can I ask where you guys from?
We're from Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
cool.
the northern
I'm from
Europe.
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Australia.
First time come to Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time?
First
Yeah.
time.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Is there something that you didn't expect that you experienced in Japan?
I guess there's a few things, but like in the metro, when you take the metro in Tokyo,
Yeah.
nobody talks. Like it's fucking crowded. You stand like this and nobody talks. It's
Yeah,
all silent.
it's
And you say something and people like, what the fuck are they
You
doing?
need to be quiet.
Yeah. And
If it's kind of uncomfortable.
no, it's
No,
just,
it's not like uncomfortable because we just talk anyways.
yeah, but we feel unpolite if we
yeah, we feel like
if we're talking in the metro and we feel kind of unpolite, you know. We gotta
and
it's
the
a-
fact that people wear masks, even though they don't have to, like driving alone in the car, still wearing a mask.
yeah,
That's kind of funny.
yeah.
No bins as well. No
Yeah,
bins.
no bins.
If you have rubbish, you just need to put it in your bag and take it home.
Yeah.
And that's what like
But
Australia
the
has.
streets are really clean. Like back home, we
Even
got-
though we don't have beans.
yeah,
Like it.
and then the
I guess
it
you're just
doesn't-
more disciplined.
yeah.
I think also the fact that everyone is just so kind.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Like everyone just has a smile on their face and it's
Yeah.
just so much.
Yeah,
so
you,
nice.
you ask
Helpful.
someone for help and they don't even know English, they still help you. Like we couldn't find the right bus.
Yeah.
And we asked some guy, he didn't understand English. He followed us all the way to the bus.
That was like a long walk.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Brightness.
20 minutes.
Yeah,
Kindness.
yeah, kind
Good to know.
Yeah.
And also safe. So safe.
Safe.
And
You feel
you
safe.
lost your bag the other night.
Yeah.
And you went back to the club. He went back to the club and it had got handed in.
Yeah.
And something
back
similar
home,
happened.
Probably
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
guy stealing
I mean,
stole it.
losing wallet is impossible in Japan.
Yeah.
I lost my phone and I went back to the shop literally like 3 hours later and they were like, is this your phone? I was like, yes, that's my phone. Yeah. So everyone is very honest and
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Yeah, people
It's
are
very
like,
safe
in
space.
general, they're just really nice.
Thank you so much.
Like almost too polite. Like you drop something and they say sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
Yeah.
So
Good to know.
sweet.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Where you from?
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, Melbourne in Australia.
Okay. So and this is your first time, right?
Yes, it is our
Okay,
first
cool.
time.
So I'm gonna ask you like the things you didn't expect in Japan. Like, is there anything?
Yeah, there's a lot of lines here. In Australia, we don't really wait for places. We make bookings and then we go. Whereas there's a culture in Japan where people line up heaps and wait a long hour, like a lot of times for lots of like food and stuff.
No lines ever in Melbourne for restaurants.
I think Japanese people love to wait to eat something.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, like ramen, sushi. Yeah.
Yeah. And then another shock, or like something that amazes me is the train systems. So good. The public transport here is fantastic. Everything runs on time.
I mean, like what I've heard from non-Japanese people, like Tokyo train system is kind of complicated for foreigners. If you visit first time, like what do you think? It's not that complicated.
I don't think it's that bad. As long as you like take your time and read the signs properly and just, have a look on Google Maps and stuff like that, it's fine. I don't think it's overly complicated. I mean, it runs so on time. Like in Australia, we probably like, if a train's late, it's like 20 minutes late and we have to wait like
20 minutes late.
on average.
And they come half an hour apart in Melbourne. So
It's like playing.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's honestly so long. It takes so long.
we less booking systems. It's harder for people who are non-Japanese to book things. And in Melbourne, if there wasn't, we'd always book. If we were going somewhere nice, always book.
Stuff like that.
But we
Even-
just
What do you think? Like booking restaurants kind of hard in Japan. What do you think? Is it because you're English speakers, or is it just in general Japan system is not that good?
Maybe because we're English speakers. Maybe because our Japanese isn't very good. If I were to book for a place in Japan, I'll go 8 p.m. I then send an email to the place, and then the place needs to contact me back saying yes, it's okay, or no, it's not okay.
It takes time.
It takes a lot more time.
It's instant.
It's pretty
in Melbourne.
instant in Australia, in Melbourne.
Okay, thank you so much.
No
Can
worries.
I check?
Yeah, sure.
Can I- Okay, so thank you for your time. Where from?
Canada.
Canada.
And the United States.
What Japan gives you culture shock when you come to Japan for the first time? And this is your first time, right? So is there anything you want to mention?
So I'll say for the first time and the second, everything just seems better in Japan. So for example, we have 7-Eleven like in America and Canada.
Yeah.
And it's not a place you want to go to. So coming here, I didn't expect it to be so good. Sometimes better than restaurants you would have in
Yeah,
America
it's
as well.
actually convenient.
Yeah.
But also like the quality of living and like the prices are a lot more cheap. So it's been like insane to just kind of travel around and like buy new things and notice that like the quality is amazing, but also the price is like a lot less in comparison to America.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Especially you from San Francisco, right? So that's totally different, right? Like,
Yeah.
a lot cheaper. Okay.
Very.
Did you notice something that you didn't expect from Japanese people, like personality or the behavior, everything?
They're very, very kind. They're very nice. One thing I like too is they're very hospitable, right? So for example, we went to a store and we had physical cash. I think it was a 7-Eleven again. And when we walked out, I dropped 1 yen, just 1 yen. And the store clerk ran outside of the store just to let us know that we dropped such a small piece of money. And you would never see that in America, you know.
I think for us, like, there's a sense of safety here, because in America, like, I'm always like watching my back and like turning around, and I feel like very unsafe. And then since coming here and like my first day in Tokyo, like there was an adjustment period because I was like, is it like I'm uncertain, but I felt very safe like coming in after like traveling for a couple of days. And then also like when we like travel and we leave our stuff to the side, we just see people like leaving their backpacks out of their luggage out.
Oh, right.
And like in America, like you can't really do that because people would just steal it immediately, and like valuable items that you like keep really close by. And so it's like really nice to see like people are very hospitable, people are very kind, and I feel like there's just like a sense of like having your back here and like making sure that like you're looking out for your community in a sense. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Where from?
I'm from London.
London.
I grew up in Switzerland, but I'm Irish American.
And you live here and you tourist, right? And is this your first time? Are the things you didn't expect? Kind of culture shock. You know,
Definitely.
yeah. Is there anything?
I guess it was a bit of a shock how homogenous the population is. So how
Yeah.
much you kind of stand out
Even in Tokyo.
in Tokyo. Yeah, that was a bit of a shock being on the train and being the only one who was kind of a foreign person, and people look at you a lot. People kind of look at you for being different and trying to make sure that you're acting in the right way, like wearing a mask and not crossing the street on a red light, and that kind of thing was a bit of took a bit of time to get used to.
So that means like if you go to the countryside or outside of Tokyo, then you'll be like overwhelmed,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think about Japanese people's English skill?
That's another shock as well. My first encounter with it was I was trying to tell the taxi driver where my accommodation was, and he didn't speak any English or couldn't read like English. You know, so yeah, the level of English was lower than I expected from people day to day, like in the convenience stores, taxis.
So would you recommend people who want to come to Japan to learn a little bit of Japanese before coming to Japan?
yeah, definitely. I definitely should have, and I didn't.
Is there anything as a tourist? Yeah.
obviously I knew that Japan was quite high tech in a lot of ways, but it's quite surprising sometimes going into like little shops and like family marts and like for example like contactless payment doesn't work. So it's like quite interesting how there's like some things that are super advanced and then like some technology like the tapping as well. Like in a lot of towns, like you just tap on public transport with your contactless card, and like here you had to kind of old school like get the
you need to
Passmo
buy it.
and all that, which I thought was quite interesting as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time. Where from?
Australia in Melbourne.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, you too.
So, it's your second time, right?
Yes.
When did you come to the first time?
2019.
2019, before COVID.
Yes,
Okay.
just before.
I'm gonna ask you one question. Like, what Japan gives you culture shock?
I think just how anonymous you feel in Japan because there's so many people.
I mean, especially in Tokyo.
Yeah, especially in Tokyo. There's just crowds of people all the time, and whereas in Australia, you can see the same person multiple times throughout the day because it's not as busy and not as many people. So feeling a lot smaller because there's so many more people.
Have you visited any other city outside of Tokyo?
Osaka
Osaka.
and Kyoto.
How did you feel the difference in Tokyo and Osaka, especially because it's two biggest city in Japan, right?
I found Osaka was a bit more relaxed, more about the food, whereas Tokyo it's a bit more everything. Bit more,
Like, which one do you prefer to visit, not to live, to visit?
Tokyo.
Oh,
Yeah.
good to know,
Yeah.
because I live in Tokyo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for watching so far. How was it? That was interesting. I hope this video helped you when you come to Japan, when you prepare coming to Japan. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, click the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any question you want me to ask people in Japan, please leave a comment too. See you next time.